Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tife, and in this video I show how to make this viral pouch bag. It's very easy to make and straightforward. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video and share with your friends as well. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Okay, so for this tutorial I'll be using the t-shirt yarn. I have 200 grams each of this t-shirt yarn. It's 100% polyester according to the label. So I'll also be using the 6mm crochet hook, my tapestry needle, some stitch markers, and a pair of scissors. I'll be using bag rings for the straps. So let's get started. So first I'll make a slip knot and then I'll chain 23. Make a slip knot like so, and then I'll make a chain of 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 23 chains here. Starting from the second chain from hook, I'll work single crochet into each chain. 1, 2. So starting from this second chain from hook, I'll work single crochet. So I worked single crochet in each chain up till the end here, having just this last chain left. In this last chain I am going to make 3 single crochet. This will enable us to turn and start working on the side. Okay, so I'm going to work 3 single crochet into this last chain. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then I'll come here. I'm going to start working in each of us. Okay, remember we started working with 23 chains. We skipped the first chain, which leaves us with 22 chains. So I worked 21 chains here, and in my last stitch I worked 3 stitches. So this is a corner stitch, this 3, so I have 21 here. So working on this side I'm going to also have 21, but I'll only work single crochet in 20 stitches, and in the last one I'm going to work 2 single crochet. The last one is where we have our first single crochet here. So I'm going to have 20 single crochet here up to this place before I work my 2 single crochet in the last stitch. So I'm going to go in here to start working my single crochet. I'm going to place my yarn here, my tail here, so I can work my single crochet over it to hide it. All right, so next I'm going to start working my single crochet into the stitch. This is the stitch where we worked the 3 corner stitches. This is the next one. On the other side I'm going to start working 1 single crochet each. I'm going to keep working my single crochet and stop right before the first stitch here, or the last. Okay, now I'm done working the single crochet up to this one. We have the last stitch here where we worked our first ever single crochet. So into the same stitch we're going to work 2 additional to make it 3. Okay, we're going to work 2 additional single crochet to make it 3, and that is our corner stitches for this other corner. Remember, we have 3 here, and then we need 3 here as well, so we already have 1, and we're going to work 2 more. Okay, so all together we have 3 corner stitches, 20 single crochet, 3 corner stitches, 20 single crochet. Okay, so this is the end of our first row. The next thing we're going to do now is to join this row so that we can start the next row. For subsequent rows, we'll be working in the centered single crochet. That means we'll be working our stitches into the center of each stitch here, instead of going under here as usual. We'll be working in the center between the two legs here. Okay, so to join our row and start our centered single crochet, I'm going to be using the technique which I call the loop over join. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to remove my hook from my working loop, and then I'm going to pull my working loop into this first stitch here, the top, the stitch here. So I'm doing this to join, not to work the next stitch. Okay, I'm doing this to join our row before we start working our centered single crochet. So I'm going to pull my working stitch into the first stitch like so. I'm going to pull it tight. Okay, I'm going to go into the center of this first stitch. We have 1, 2, 3. This first stitch, I'm going to go into the center of it like so. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop like so, and then I'll pull my working loop over my hook, yarn over, pull through. So this successfully closes our first row and then gives us our first centered single crochet of the next row. Okay, so I'm going to work 1 more stitch into the same stitch, so that's an increase. We're going to be having 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so for the next stitches, I'm going to work just 1 single crochet until I get to the corner stitch. Okay, so we don't get confused. I forgot, let me mark the corner stitches. Okay, this is the first, second, third, so I'm going to mark the first one and also mark the third one so we don't get confused. So I'm also going to mark my first stitch here. This is my first stitch. Okay, so I'm going to work 1 single crochet each into each of them. I'm going to have a total of 20. This is not part of it. This is a corner stitch which we already have an increase here. Then we work our normal stitches here, 20 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I'm going into the center of the stitch below. You always remember to give your stitch height. If it's too low, it may end up being too tight. So like so. Okay, so you're coming coming in at between these two legs. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do this till we complete our 20 stitches. Okay, so I'm back. I completed my 20 single crochet, not counting these two here. Okay, this is a part of our corner stitches. So we have an increase here, 20, and then for these ones I have 3 where I have the corner stitches, 3 single crochet in 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work an increase in each of them, 2 single crochet here, 2 single crochet here, 2 single crochet here. Okay, I'm going into the center. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, going into the center. Okay. Okay, and the last one. On the same stitch. Okay, so next I'm going to I have the next 20 stitches on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so the last 2 here are parts of our corner stitches for this side. So I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the next 20 stitches. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working till the end. So I'm done with those stitches. So next I'm going to work 2 increases. Sorry, yeah, 2 increases. 1 increase here and 1 increase here. So that will give us a total of 3 increases on this corner. We already have 1. I'm going to work 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet. That's a total of 3 increases for this corner, just like we did here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and that marks the end of our second row. So I'm going to join just like I did before with the loop over join technique. So to do that, I'm going to pull my working loop into this first stitch like so. So for our corner stitches now, we have a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what we have here now. So next I'm going to go into this first stitch, the first stitch of our row, the one we started with. I'm going to go into it like so. I'm also and I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You don't want your working loop that you pulled inside to be too wide, so you can have, so your single crochet is not too big. So I pulled my working loop over my hook, so I have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. This is the first center single crochet of our next stitch. So I'm going to, I have only 1 here. In the next one I'm going to have an increase. Okay, 1 single crochet and increase, and then we have our 20. Okay, before the next corner, 1 single crochet, increase, 2. Okay, 1. So now I've started working my 20 regular single crochet, centered single crochet. I don't know if I made the mistake earlier, but we're working centered single crochet right now. From the second row, we've been working centered single crochet. Centered single crochet, also called the waistcoat stitch. Okay, so I'll keep working it, I'll complete it, and then I'll be back. So I worked the 20 regular centered single crochet, and in the next, on the corner stitches, I'm going to be working regular centered single crochet, increase. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I have total of 6 corner stitches. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so the first one I'm going to work 1, and the next I'm going to work 2. Then next one, the next 2. Okay, then next 1, 2. Okay, so next I'm going to work 20 before we get to our corner. Okay, so what you notice is that the 20 is constant. The 20 on the side is constant. What changes is only the corner stitches. That's the only place where we work our increases. Okay, so I keep working it till I get 20. So I completed my 20 centered single crochet. So we're left with the corner stitches, and we're going to work 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, 1 increase, 1 centered single crochet, 1 increase. That's what we're going to work right now. The first will be 2 centered single crochet in 1 stitch. Okay, so we're done with this corner as well. We're going to join and start the next one. So we are going to have a total of 4 rows for the base, kind of. So we already have 3, 1, 2, 3, and we need 1 more. So I'm going to pull this into the first stitch, like so. I'm going to the center of the first center single crochet we made for this row. Yarn over, pull up a loop. I think my loop is a bit too high. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'll pull this on my hook. Yarn over, go through, and then we have the first center single crochet of our 4th row. Okay, so now I'm going to work the sequence now is 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, and 2 centered single crochet. That's 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. Okay, one, two. Okay, if you're an absolute beginner, always mark the beginning of your work so you don't get confused. Okay, so this is our first stitch, so you don't get confused. Okay, so I'll continue working my center single crochet. The next is to work the 20 center single crochet before we get to the corner. 1 2 3 4. So I'll continue working it and finish it, then I'll be back. Completed the 20 stitches here. I'm now at the corner where I'll work 1 single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, and 2 centered single crochet, 1 1 2 1 1 2. Okay, 1 1 2. Okay, 1 1 2. 1. So I have the last one, 1 1 2. Okay, so I'll work my 20 centered single crochet, then I'll come back to show us how to work this other part. Okay, so I'm back. So I'm going to make 1 centered single crochet, 1 centered single crochet, 2 centered single crochet, 1 1 2. Okay, 1 1 So this brings us to the end of our fourth row. So what we want to do next is to join our row and then start the body of the bag. So to do that, I'm going to pull my working loop into the first stitch here. Okay, and then I'll pull tight. Like so. Okay, so I'm just going to insert it here. I'm going to insert a smaller hook here to keep it from pulling back. Okay, like so. So I'm going to, usually we go into the center of our stitch, okay, to work the next row. But now what we're going to do is to go into the bottom, not the center now, the bottom here of this first stitch. To start our body, to start the body of our bag, we have to go into the center of this, into the bottom of this stitch, this first stitch. Okay, like so. Then I'll pull up a loop. I'll pull it up. I'll give it a height like so. I'll pull it up tall. Okay, and then I'm going to remove my hook from here and pull my working loop over my hook like so, and then I'll yarn over both. So this is the first long stitch of our body. Okay, worked over this one. Okay, so next I'm going to go into the next stitch, but I'll be working in back loop for our short. So basically for the body we work one long stitch and one short stitch, one long, one short, one long, one short, one long, one short. That's how we're going to do it. And the short stitch is going to be worked in the back loop only. We're not going to go under both loops. We are only going to go into the back loop like so. Okay, and then this is for this stitch. Okay, and then for the next stitch I'm going to go into the bottom part of the stitch, the base of the stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and make a single crochet. Okay, and then in the next stitch I'm going to work a short stitch in the back loop. Okay, in the next stitch I'm going to go into the bottom of the base, pull up a long loop, yarn over. Okay, do not make the mistake of working your stitch into the same stitch where you made your long stitch. Okay, it's always the next stitch. Short stitch here, long stitch here, short stitch here, long stitch here. Okay, short stitch here, long stitch. So that's how we'll work it. Okay, so the next one is going to be into this back loop. Okay, and then the next one, and then the next one. This is this one, the next one is this. Okay, next one. Long short, 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 and then that's how we're going to do it till we come back here. Okay, we've started the body of the bag, so we're not working any increase on these corners any longer. We're just going to follow this sequence around. Okay, so we're at the corner here. I'm just trying to show you that you do nothing but continue the sequence as usual. Okay, okay, so we just continue this till the end. I completed this row. Okay, so it's time to join this our first row of the body. So to do that, we ended the row with the short single crochet, so that means we have to close it with the long single crochet. For this next row, we'll be working our long single crochet under, we'll be going into the base of this short single crochet that we did in the previous rows. Okay, so because the next one now to do after the short single crochet is the long one, so to join it, I'll be going under, I'll be entering into the base of the next short single crochet. Okay, I'm going to pull my working loop and pull it into the first stitch here. Okay, go into the base of this short one, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull my working loop on my hook, yarn over, go through. For the next one, I'm going to walk into the back loop of the next stitch. Next, the base of the next stitch. Back loop of the next stitch. Base. And then we keep alternating that way around till we come back here. Okay, so I completed the second row with a long single crochet. So now we have to join it with a short one, okay, because the short one is the next one after the long one. So to do that, I'm going to pull my working loop into my first stitch, the top of my first stitch here. Okay, I'll pull tight and then I'll pull this so it's not too big. Okay, next I'm going to go into the center. This is the bar I created by pulling my working loop inside. So I'm going to go into the center of this bar like so. Okay, from the top, I'll go into the center from the top like so, and then I have two loops on, one loop each on each side like so. Okay, so then I'm going to push my hook in from the bottom like this, pull my working loop on it, pull tight, yarn over. Okay, chain one. This is our first single crochet for the third row. It's also the one joining the last row. Okay, so next I'm going to work into the base of the next single crochet to work a long single crochet. So I have the short, the long, next the short into the back loop, next the long one, next the short one, long under the base, short in back loop. So I'll do this around. So the joining, I'll explain the joining again. If you finish your last single crochet as a short one, you have to join as a long one. If you finish with a long one, you have to join with a short one. Okay, so if you finish with a long one, join with a short one. If you finish with a short one, join with a long one. I showed before how to join with a long one, and I have now shown you how to join with a short one. Okay, so we'll continue working in rounds, and I'll come back and tell you how many rounds I've made. So I decided that the first base was way bigger than I wanted, so I decided to reduce it. Okay, so I started with 15 chains, skipped one, worked corners in the first one here, worked another corner in the other side here, and then I have 12 at the center. So you don't have to start with this specific number of chains. I'm just trying to show you how it's going. So I'm going to go ahead and use this base for my bag because it's the size that I want. So it measures 22 centimeters by 8. Okay, the first one I did measured 33 centimeters by 8. Okay, so depending on, you can adjust the number of chains depending on what you want to achieve or the size that you want to achieve. So I'm done with the rows. I have a total of 18 rows and measured 7 inches by 9.8 inches. 7 by 9.8, that's 9.8, and this is 7. So to join this row, I'm going to pull out my working loop and pull it into the first stitch here. Okay, like so. I'm going to pull so it's a little, so it's not too loose. So I'm going to go under this bar here, the bar that I created from pulling my working loop under the first stitch. I'm going to go under it, then pull my working loop on my hook, like so. All right, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then I'll start working slip stitches around the edges. Okay, to do that, I'm going to go into the next stitch under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through into the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through, yarn over, pull up a loop. So I'm going to work slip stitches around like so. So I'm just going to do that and come back. Okay, so now I'm done with the slip stitches here. I'm going to cut my yarn now, and then I'll pull it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is an invisible join to close off our bag. To do that, I'm going to pull, you can either use a smaller hook or a tapestry needle. Okay, let's use a tapestry needle. So I'm going to insert my yarn into this like so, and then I'll go, this is my first slip stitch, I'm going to go under both loops like so and pull through. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the last, this is the last one, so I'm going to go into the last stitch here, the center of it, the middle of it. But I'm going to insert my needle all the way through to the back here. Okay, now we have our invisible join. That means it's not noticeable because it imitates the other stitches that we have here. Okay, so this is it. So now what I'm going to do is to weave in my leftover yarn, and if you have any other yarn hanging, you should weave them in as well. So to weave in my yarn, I'm going to fasten my tapestry needle and then I'll just push my yarn in with the tapestry needle around to secure it. And that's the same thing I'm going to do with any other leftover yarn that I have. So I'm just going to do that like this, and then I'll come back to show us the next step. Now I'm done joining. This is where we joined. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, I'm going to set my bag aside and from my yarn. So next I'm going to cut my yarn of 80 inches each, about 200 centimeters each. Okay, and that's what we're going to use for our drawstring. So now we have to attach our drawstrings to our bag. So to do that, you need a tapestry needle. I'll use this one. I'm going to insert and make sure that the yarn tails are even. So I'm then going to locate the sides of each one, particularly the long stitch on the side, and then I'm going to insert my tapestry needle with my yarn into it and pull it out like so. I'm going to leave it out a little like this. Okay, and then I'm going to come out on the next long stitch, not the short one, the long stitch. We're only going to be inserting in the long stitch. Okay, so I'm going to come out from the long stitch like so, and then I'll go back into the next long stitch. I'll come out here, and then I'll go back in. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this. Till I come back out here. Okay, so I'm going to do this and come back. Done, I'm back here. I finished in the last long stitch here before this tail that I left at the beginning. So what I'm going to do now is to cut. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for this other side. I'm going to fasten my yarn into my needle. I'm going to insert it and pull it halfway through, so I can have equal ends. Okay, now I'm going to locate the long one from this side as well. So I'm going to go in. Okay, I'm going to start from this one and finish with this one. So I'm going to go in from the back, from the front to the back. I'll leave a little tail like this, and then I'm going to come out from this side and work it all the way around till I come back here, going into only the long single crochet, only the long stitch, just like I did the first time. So I'll continue to do that and I will come back when I get here. Okay, so quickly I just wanted to show us here this other side. Nothing changes here. You're still going to come out from this stitch and go back in from the next one. Nothing changes. We're going to insert our yarn into every one of the long stitches. So I'm done with the side I came out from the last one. I'm going to cut out my, okay, so I have the side. Next thing I'm going to do is to add my drawstring stoppers. So I'm going to insert my yarn ends into my needle, and I'm going to insert into one of these stoppers. Okay, and then I'll tie it. And then cut it. Okay, I'm going to repeat for this other side and this side too. Our bag is now ready, so I'm just going to close it up like this. I'm going to make a strap. Okay, I'm going to go in and pull up a loop like so. Okay, I'm going to turn my loop like this and chain one or make a single crochet, and then I'll chain 30 or more. I'll let you know when I'm done. So I'll continue chaining. I come back. So I chained 45. My yarn is quite stretchy, so when I work into it, it might get longer, but for now the length of my chain is about 12.5 inches, and that's about 34 centimeters or 35 centimeters. Okay, so next I'm going to get my other chain, and then I'll insert my hook in and do a slip stitch here. Okay, next I'm going to go into my stitches, and then I'll walk back. I'll walk slip stitches all the way back to the other end. Okay, slip stitches. I'll keep walking slip stitches all the way to the other end. Okay, okay, so I walked my slip stitches all the way to the other end here. So next I'm going to insert my hook into the chain, into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, slip stitch, and then chain one. Okay, then I'll turn, and then I'll start another row of slip stitches, working in front loop only, front loop only, meaning I'm working my slip stitches into this loops here. Okay, I'm going to skip this and start with this. So the side once again, I'm going to go into it, slip stitch, and chain one. Okay, so I'm not going to go. If you want your strap to be wider, you can keep going back and forth, but I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to cut my yarn and weave it in. Okay, I'm just going to do the same for this end. Okay, I'll weave it in as well. Okay, I'm done with my strap now, and it measures about 14.5 inches and about 37.5 centimeters. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull my bag a little, and then I'll attach my bag ring like so. I'm attaching it to the top of this. I'm not going into the stitches below. I'm attaching it to the top. Okay, like so. Okay, so our bag is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video.